Well, howdy doody, and welcome to update 12 here once again in our home in Blackpool, where we have something very special to share with you today. So from me, Phil, the CEO of the Travel Village Group.
And me, Paula, Managing Director of the Holiday Village.
And of course there's me, Jess, Phil's daughter and manager of the Travel Village team.
So today's update is a one-off special. It's not actually going to be focused on holidays and what the effects the coronavirus is having on our family business.
No, it's not. And what Dad is talking about is how can we at the Travel Village Group bring awareness to a phrase that has been used so many times in our lives, but has never been so poignant. And that is, there's always someone somewhere in a worse position.
So many of us are suffering in lots of ways during the coronavirus lockdown. And not only do we need to highlight the importance of talking to each other, keeping an eye out for vulnerable friends and neighbours, but also what effect the lockdown and the virus is having on some amazing charities out there.
Yeah, what we've tried to do throughout our updates, as you know, is keep it real by being honest and being transparent. It's also been a great opportunity to introduce you to our team, and we're going to be doing that again in update 13. That's the next one. And we've had so many kind comments last week about those, so I'm looking forward to that myself. I hope they'll behave themselves. And that's what our family business is doing with our updates. We're keeping them believable, telling you the truth. It may not be perfect. We're not perfect, but it's the truth. It's how we feel, it's how we, how it affects us, and it's how we're trying to fix it for you. So we can all look forward to our next holiday, whenever that may be, and we'll have more of that in the future updates.
As you may be aware, last year many of us took part in the National Three Peaks Challenge to raise money for our local charity, Brian House Children's Hospice. Now this year, many of our team were going back to Ben Nevis, and Phil was going to cycle from Blackpool to Ben Nevis in aid of the charity. Now just recently, myself and Phil messaged each other and we had on our minds Brian House and Trinity Hospice and how they might be affected during this time. So we're bringing Janet from Trinity Hospice into the conversation to ask her how can we at the Travel Village Group help them and what challenges are they facing? And how can we get our friends, our family, our colleagues and you, people of Blackpool and the Fylde Coast, to support them at this awful time?
Anyway, we're here now with the power of them up and technology, and we've got Janet Atkins from the Trinity Hospice. And more recently, our support has been for the Brian House Children's Hospice. But during COVID-19, I understand, Janet, that there's immediate need for help in the Trinity. Can you explain to our clients and the people of the Fylde Coast then where this need is and why it is?
Yes, Phil, love to. Trinity Hospice is ready to take patients from Blackpool Teaching Hospital in a bid to free up beds and help its NHS partners in the Fylde Coast fight against COVID-19. The hospice has brought in 10 extra beds into the inpatient unit, increasing capacity by over 50%. 2 weeks of careful planning means the hospice can now take admissions from the hospital, mostly frail elderly patients, though no one with a known COVID-19 diagnosis. It's not the first time that the hospital has stepped in to free up local hospital beds, but the scale of this response is unprecedented. Trinity's hospital-based palliative care team, along with its community nurses and hospice at home overnight teams, have also stepped in to fight the support increasing numbers of people needing palliative care due to the coronavirus. Teams have now stepped up to a 7-day-a-week schedule, and there's been a rapid upscaling of the virtual consultation techniques as well.
In effect, you've now become frontline. Tell us, Janet, what effect has this had on the relatives of those that you've already got in palliative care?
Well, over the last few weeks, procedures have changed daily within the hospice as we constantly review government guidelines. Our current situation is that visiting has now been restricted to 2 hours a day, just 2 till 4 in the afternoon, and that only 1 visitor per patient is allowed. Now, Trinity is still allowing visitors where everywhere else has stopped. This, however, we are doing everything we can to minimise the risks. For example, we are checking temperatures of visitors and fitting them with PPE equipment on arrival. Now, the reason we've continued to allow the visiting in the hospice, albeit restricted, is the value this brings to the quality of care for our patients and the families. So the importance of contact and connection with our loved ones at the end of life can't be underestimated for all concerned. Retaining limited visiting at this difficult time with the robust infection control measures we have put in place allows us to continue to deliver compassionate, holistic care, which is we saw value in hospice care.
What will this financial support do?
Well, I must tell you that we've moved mountains in the last few weeks to change the work to keep nursing local people who have never needed us more and to support those with coronavirus at the end of life. But if we're going to make it through the crisis, we're going to need your help. As an independent charity, we have to pay for all this extra care ourselves, but we've had to close all our shops and cancel fundraising events throughout the summer. So it's left a huge hole in our budget. The government has promised to support hospices recently, but I have to tell you this will only just cover about 2/3 of the care services we know our community will need. The rest we'll have to find ourselves, and that's why we're really grateful to the Travel Village going out with this campaign. So whatever funds you raise will go towards our emergency fund.
Well, yeah, this 2.6 challenge, it seems a great way to get money in. Just tell the people of the Fylde Coast what sort of things, you're seeing people do. Is there anything really bonkers out there? What's happening?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just, the crazier the better, really. The great thing about the 2.6 challenge is that a company like yourselves can pass it out to around staff members. Everybody can get involved. For people maybe on furloughed leave at the moment, it can be something positive for them to focus on. For families, it can just be adapted to all ages and abilities. So there's been different ideas. There's running 26 miles or maybe a week or a month, 26 press-ups a day, laps around the garden, walking 2.6 miles, which for younger kids and stuff is still quite a challenge for them. Running up and down stairs 26 times a day, which I think Jess might sign up to.
Yeah.
Maybe doing some dancing for 26 minutes a day, bike rides, hula hooping's another one, maybe a new skill that we can all get.
No, definitely not.
And maybe doing sort of yoga or an online keep fit lesson for 26 minutes a day. And it's a great way to start getting a bit fitter as well.
We really need to get the people of Blackpool involved in this. We've seen some great charity raising events throughout, the UK. But we really need the people of Blackpool, Lytham, St Anne's, Fylde Coast, Fleetwood. We need everybody involved in this big time. And Jess, what's the script in terms of the page and how we do it, how we get there?
Well, did you say age? Sorry.
Age? No, not age.
Age. Sorry. So I have launched a Just Giving page. So you'll find justgiving.com/travel-village. We really will appreciate anybody to visit that page, check out what our team are up to, and just any small donations really will help. I'll put that as well on our Facebook page and our website.
Yeah. So, Janet, anything you'd like to say in closing? Because I know the people of the Fylde Coast, we don't want anyone to be forgetting about the work that you do in the hospice. It's absolutely incredible. You and your team are doing a great job. What would you like to say before we finish?
Well, first of all, I'm just thinking that anybody that does sign up under your page, I think we could have a little bit of a competition there going there, and we could maybe come up with a prize for the craziest idea or something like that.
Good idea.
But I do just want to say from everyone at Trinity and Brian House Children's Hospice, we just want to say a huge thank you to you, Phil, Paula and Jess and the rest of the team at the Travel Village. You know, you've been fantastic supporters for a few years now, and we're really proud and grateful for your amazing support. And I think if anybody can bully people into getting 2.6 challenge, it's you guys.
We'll do it. We're going to do some cycling. Listen, thanks ever so much, Janet.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. We'll get this out to the Fylde Coast. Brilliant.
Fantastic. Stay well and safe.
We will.
Thank you.
I don't know about you, but it really hit home to me the importance part Janet and those incredible people on the front line at Trinity Hospice are playing.
Yeah.
And the heartache those affected families will be feeling of the loss of loved ones at this time. Awful time.
Yeah, it is. It's an awful time. You got that right, love. It is. I'm a South Shore boy, but I appeal to all of you out there on the Fylde Coast to get behind our 2.6 challenge for the Trinity Hospice, and let's get to our target of £2,600 as soon as possible. Personally, I think there's a zero missing. Maybe we can start something special here. Who knows? Who knows?
So please support us in supporting Trinity Hospice by sharing this post. That is super important. Share this post. Then either click on the link or visit our Just Giving page, which is displayed on the video, and make a donation. Go without that bottle of wine this weekend. Because if you share this post and we can get 1,000 people to donate at least £10, we will raise £10,000 for Trinity Hospice. And that is invaluable at this time. Anything we raise is fantastic, but come on Blackpool and the Fylde Coast, get sharing this post, get sharing our Just Giving page and get donating. And please, please post your videos on the Travel Village Facebook page of your 2.6 challenge.
Now, we promise to donate £62 for every £260 raised. So if you, the people on the Fylde Coast, raise £2,600, that'll be £620 we, as a business, will contribute from the Travel Village team. So thank you again for supporting our family business and an incredibly deserving charity. Thank you for being kind to our team, but most of all,
Stay safe.
Be kind. And we will be back soon. So from myself, Paula and my dad, it's goodbye again.
goodbye.